On yesterday's Harvest, you were with us yesterday, right? We talked with former Notre Dame and NFL player Braxston Cave about the role that faith played in his pro football career. Today, we'll talk about the transition to the business world and the message he can share with those who want to follow in his footsteps. So you get done with football, you decide, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. And then you have to say, oh my gosh, I got a wife and a child and I got to get a paycheck that pays for all this. So how in the world did you wind up at this place you're at now, Lippert Components?
Yeah, so my goal was always play 10 years in the NFL, come back, open a training facility, and work with the local students. Obviously, I didn't make it that far in. Didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, what direction. I have a good friend that is a sales guy, Tyler Nine for Lippert Components. He's like, hey, if you want to dive into the RV market, let me know. And so I said, what the heck, I'll give it a try. And about 2 minutes later, got a call from Jason Lippert, the CEO of the company, and went in that day, sat down in his office for about 2 hours, and we shared the same faith, huge faith guy, goes to the same church as me, talked about my background, and we talked about golf, so I was hooked. I love all the things that he stands for and things he pushes for the company, and it's been a great transition for me.
And it's great that you have that opportunity to work in that environment with that kind of atmosphere. But when it comes down to the brass tacks, you're managing actually a production plant, a manufacturing facility. So
Right.
How do you see faith integrate with just the common relationships in the day in, day out with all of the people that are working basically under your supervision?
Well, it's coming up, having that foundation in faith. I can't tell you how many conversations I have with people every day and the problems they have going on, and just finding common ground, finding a solution. It's helped me coming from football, being in a locker room with the dynamic there. You get all kinds of kinds. Same in production manufacturing. It's there's 800 people in our plant, and people from all different walks of life, and it's finding that common ground and being able to have that influence and show people that I'm not going to sacrifice anything for my walk of life and my faith, and it rubs off on people. They want to be around that.
Well, and you've got a chance to still be a great role model, because there's a lot of kids who grow up in the area that you lived in who look up to you. And as you go out and speak at different organizations like Fellowship of Christian Athletes, I know you've got a message you want to share with them. What is it?
Two of the biggest points, what I stress to any kid is high school can be really hard. I don't know that it's just in today's day and age, but kids can be mean. It's easy to slip and fall down the wrong path. So the first thing I tell everyone is, you're the average of the top 5 people you hang around with, you spend most of your time with. And if you really sit down and look at who you're spending that time with, you'll see that, yeah, you have some friends who are doing some things that maybe aren't up to your standard, and then you have some friends that you strive to be like they are. And it's so true. So constantly trying to push towards surrounding yourself with the right people. Sometimes it's really hard to walk away from friendships that you've had for a long time, but if they're not on the same path as you, it's never going to get you to where you want to go. The second thing I tell them is just dive in. You can't stand on the sidelines and be part of the game. I failed at that for a while. Was always involved in church. Felt like I was on the team, but I didn't dive in as much as I could have. And I would walk away from some things and be like, man, I wish I would have dove in. I wish I would have done that. And once I finally started doing that, it felt so much better. I was able to learn a lot more, to have a lot more influence, and it helped me tremendously.
You kind of mentioned it in quick passing, with the transition that took place, realizing that your plan of being in the NFL for 10 years and then kind of giving back through a training facility and whatnot, and the change that took place. Just if we could go back to that moment with you and your family, what were some of the things that helped you process making that distinctive change? Because when we face a redirection of our life and what we think we will be doing into another plan, it could be a harrowing experience.
Right. It's great to be able to have some influence and to be able to shape and mold kids who may not be on the right path. Want to get on the right path. What do I need to do from a faith standpoint, a family standpoint, athletic standpoint? It's great to be able to get them at a young age because you can set that foundation. But when I was looking at it, in this area especially, it's hard to make a living when that's what you're doing. And obviously that would played a big part into, big role into my decision. So in this area, what's the next best thing? The RV market. This is the RV capital of the world. Business is booming right now. What a better place to get involved and try to make a positive influence.
Right, and you're still able to give back, obviously, regardless of what your vocation is.
Yeah, no, definitely. As any free time I get, I love to get back involved in the local schools and help out where I can. Right now, it's just been crazy. My 3-month-old daughter, my wife prefers that I be home as much as possible at this point in time, which has been awesome for me.
I am curious about one thing we didn't really get to in yesterday's show. We talked about you going from Penn to Notre Dame. When you went from Notre Dame, which is a really faith-based place, to the NFL, which is not, what was that transition like? Were you able to find people of faith in the NFL, or was it a little more difficult?
It makes it a little bit more difficult. You don't have like that family atmosphere in an NFL locker room, just because a lot of guys get close with someone, the next day they come in, their locker's empty. So you kind of learn to get along, to make it work, but some guys don't really get too close. Every team I was on, though, I made sure to get involved with the group Bible study. When we were with the New England Patriots, my wife and I were in a couples study, which was awesome. So there was always opportunities. We never really found a church while we were bouncing from team to team. So we continued to watch GCC online and do the weekly Bible study, and that was great for us. So definitely had the faith accountability there.
Well, even though you didn't get to that career goal that you had for yourself on the Post-it note, you're still doing some great things, and we look forward to you doing a lot of great things within our community in the years to come. Braxston Cave joining us on the Harvest Show. To connect with Braxston, we invite you to go to our website, which is harvest-tv.com, and we'll get you a link to how to get in contact with him. And be sure to like us on Facebook to get exclusive content. We're right back with prayer requests after this.